Hi guys, so today we are going to be discussing processes and goals and the difference between the two. So, why are goals so important to mention? So, if you imagine that you are in a car and your destination, you want to drive to London. So your goal is London, but what is your process of getting there, your directions to get to London? If you have no direction, how can you ever get to your goal? Over the following days, we are going to be introducing some key things to help you achieve your goals. But the focus of today is talking about the processes behind those goals and a little bit about goal setting. So a lack of direction could be, in the nutrition world, could manifest itself as you don't know where to get your information from because there's so many people giving you rubbish information. You might have followed yo-yo diets in the past. You might have followed, I don't know, keto, low carb, fasting, and any of those sort of things. They are a means with which to achieve your goal, or a process with which to achieve your goal. Now we're going to be delving a bit more into why or why not these things may work later on in the course. But for today, we're just going to go over goal setting. So, what I want you to do first of all is I want you to picture your goal, where you want to be or where you see yourself in 3 years' time. Now, write down that goal. This is going to be your task for today. You're going to write down that goal. Now, I want you to give me 5 reasons why you want to do that goal. So I'm going to give you a bit of an example, okay? So if my goal, which is probably quite similar to some of you, is to have visible abs in 3 years' time. Okay, I know you might want it tomorrow, but we're thinking about a realistic goal. So everyone's capable of having visible abs. If you want them, let's say 3 years is the goal time. So 5 whys. My first why is that I want to look more attractive for my partner. That's one reason why I want visible abs. The second reason will be that it will make me feel more confident in myself. The third reason, if you have visible abs and a nice looking body, you're probably pretty healthy. You're probably not sitting eating junk food all the time, etc. If you have visible abs, it's likely that your core is pretty strong. You don't really get really good muscular six pack unless you're super shredded without having a strong core. So obviously that's really important. And the fifth reason, my fifth reason is why is I will be proud for achieving this. Okay, so there's my 5 whys. So following on from the 5 whys that you've just written down, you might find that was quite difficult for you to do. But the point of that exercise is to get you sort of thinking about the deep-seated reasons why you actually want that thing. If you really struggle to come up with 5, 3 is okay, but I would recommend trying to come up with 5. Because it really it'll sort of make you mentally start really deep diving into why you have this goal. So the next step, so that's your 3-year goal. Now picture yourself in 1 year. I want you to think of 3 actions and write these down as well. 3 actions as to how you will achieve this goal, or how you will start to achieve this goal. So my example here would be, with my goal being being abs lean, being 6-pack lean. My action 1, I'm going to eat well 80% of the time. Action 2, I'm going to exercise at least 2 to 3 times per week, minimum. And action 3, I will walk a minimum of 7,000 steps almost every day. So there's my 3 actions. So this is the process. So we've gone over the goal. You now know why you want to achieve that goal. Your first action is to pick 3 things that you can do for the next year that are going to get you closer to that overall goal. So now that we've figured out the goal for 3 years' time and some actionable things that we're going to do for the next year to get us towards that goal, we're now going to bring it down to 12 weeks. So what can we do in the next 12 weeks that are going to get us closer to that 6-pack or extra lean body? So for my example is I am going to start training my core 2 to 3 times per week. So that's 1. Again, we want 3 reasons here, so I'm going to give you 3. I'm going to eat a source of lean protein with every meal that I eat. So for the next 12 weeks, that's what I'm going to do. And I'm going to track my calories at least 5 days per week. Now that's something we're going to discuss later on in the course. But for now, that's what I'm going to do in the next 12 weeks, those 3 steps that I'm going to do in the next 12 weeks to get me closer to the goal. So now we're going to bring it down to this week. So what are you and what are we going to do this week to get us closer to our goal? So remember, your goal can be different from mine. Mine's just a pretty general one that I'm giving you for an example. So this week, I am going to, these could be laughably small, by the way. Literally anything to get you closer, okay? If you're driving in your car 5 miles per hour or 10 miles per hour towards London, you're still heading towards London. If you're just sitting on the sofa and you're not even in your car yet, you're not getting to London, okay? So these can be very small steps, okay? So my examples are that this week, I'm gonna go out for 2 to 3 15-minute walks, okay? So very small, anyone can do that. 2 to 3 15-minute walks, minimum 2, okay? My other one, so again, it's 3 that we're coming up with. My other one is that I'm going to buy the protein sources which I require for my meals. So that's eliminating a huge barrier. I've got the protein sources there, so now I can start eating them, okay? And then my last one is that I'm going to learn how to track calories, okay? So again, like I said, we're going to be going through this later on in the course, but they're my 3 steps that I'm going to do this week to get towards that goal, or to get my, to arrive in London. Okay, using the car analogy. Okay, so what I also want you to do is I want you to come up with objections as to why you might not be able to do things that are going to get you towards your goal. Okay, so why can't you, or what would stop you doing these things? So for my this is the things that I mentioned for this week, okay? So for my 15-minute walk, things that could put me off, it could rain, so I won't want to walk. Okay, so what's the solution to that? My solution is to wear or bring an umbrella, or to wear a waterproof jacket, okay? So now that I have given myself the excuse of, oh, it's raining, I don't really fancy it, I have also come up with a solution to that. So in my own head now, that's no longer an excuse, because I already have a solution to it. The thing about the protein sources then, so I'm gonna buy some protein sources to make my diet better this week. But maybe you don't know what foods contain, which foods contain protein. So what's the solution to that? We're going to learn that. So I'm going to attach some Venn diagrams to this video, because I'm pretty sure that's going to be, some of you are going to be in that boat. So yeah, that's going to be my second solution to my second problem. My third problem is, how do I work out my calories? So here's a really, really quick, and I'll put this in the notes. Here's a really quick way to figure out your calories. There's no sort of set in stone way to figure it out. So this is just an approximate way, and we're going to use this as a bit of trial and error. So how many times per week do you work out? If you work out, so we're going to use our body weight in pounds. So we need to weigh ourselves and know our body weight in pounds. If you've weighed yourself and it's in kilos, we're going to times that by 2.2, and that's our body weight in pounds. Okay, so we're going to use that. So if you exercise 2 to 4 times per week, we're going to take our body weight in pounds and we're going to times it by 14. Okay. If you train less than twice per week, we're going to take our body weight in pounds and we're going to times it by 12. And this is going to give us our approximate daily calorie intake. Okay? Right, so this is what I want you guys to do for tomorrow, and I want you to comment on the video to let me know that you've done this. Okay, I'm going to be chasing you up about this, as I mentioned in my previous video. So I want your overall goal for 3 years' time. I want 3 to 5 reasons, preferably 5, why you want this goal, and I want you to write these down as well, okay? I want 3 actions that you will do for the next year that are going to get you towards that goal. And then I want 3 actions over the next 12 weeks that are going to get you towards that goal, okay? What are you going to do, finally, what are you going to do this week that is going to get you towards that overall 3-year goal? So remember, my example was a 15-minute walk, or 3 15-minute walks. That is not going to get me 6-pack abs tomorrow, but if I do that consistently over the next 3 years, that's going to be a giant step towards that. That's maybe taking me from where I live in Newcastle, it's going to take me halfway or a quarter of the way to London, if we're using the car analogy again. Okay, and then finally, I want you to come up with a couple of objections and a couple of solutions, just like we discussed before with my walking and the waterproof coat or the umbrella. Don't worry if you can't solve them. try to, but if you can't, don't worry, because we're going to be discussing all of this stuff and we're going to be teaching you loads of useful stuff over the course of the next 2 weeks to really get you going with this, okay? So I'm going to attach a form that's going to help you with your goal setting, and I'm going to attach those Venn diagrams if you're not too sure what constitutes a protein source, okay? But remember, you don't need to send us your list. It's for you. It's personal to you. Your goal's personal to you, okay? Do not share it. Keep it to yourself. We're going to work on those, okay? Right, cheers, guys. See you tomorrow.